What's going on, ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode here of the Highland Scotties Sports Talk here on the channel. As we're back here and wrapping up the regular season, as we just finished off the national championship game, which I was really surprised and shocked because Notre Dame was a team that we kind of looking up at for the whole entire season, but they come up short as we win this one 70-24. And I really thought that the first half was pretty good. It was pretty decent, and then just after some bad turnovers there from them, they had 2 fumbles they lost, and of course the interception. It just kind of went downhill from there, and then our defense just kind of took over and just showed off what they can do. And you see the time possession pretty on the level for both teams, pretty well matched there offensively there on the field. But we had the better hand, and of course we took over. We capitalized on their mistakes and took advantage of that. Davis, your Heisman Trophy winner for them. There you see his numbers there, and just a bad game there for him. As he just had a rough go. 329 yards, and he had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Sacked 6 times in the game from the Highland Scotties defense there. That just by far just been monsters this season. And it's going to be kind of tough because we're going to be losing a lot of those players coming up here in this upcoming off season, which we'll have that video here, and then hopefully here in the next couple of days here for you guys. But there you see the numbers there for, of course, right now you're just looking at the numbers for the Fighting Irish there. Like I said, the Fighting Irish all season long, they play some really good games, and of course, when it came down to it, the big one, they just did not do it. And Avery Davis, our defense did a great job. You cannot take nothing away from our defense. They put the pedal to the metal. They put pressure on him, and he just could not answer the call. So he had a tough go at it. Like I said, we got it to him 6 times in the ball game. There you see Holmes, he threw it 11 times, only 48 yards, but Hines, there 3 catches, 126 yards, no touchdowns. The only touchdown came from McKinney, who had 3 catches and 24 yards for the day. That was the only touchdown they had, or at least passing touchdown there for them. And of course, there you see the numbers there defensively for the Fighting Irish there. And of course, like I said, they only got to our guy 3 times in the game. So our offense did a great job there, which I was really quite surprised. Our offense has been, from the get-go, starting off the season, I was really unsure about how we were going to protect our quarterback. There's a lot of times where I'm just like, okay, this is not going to be good for Reed. But, Reed had, even though he threw a lot of interceptions this season, he also threw a lot of touchdown passes. And if he can reduce the touchdowns, reduce the interceptions and throw more touchdowns next season like he did this year, he is going to be a shoo-in. He should be in the top 5 there for the Heisman Trophy going into next season if he happens to return next season, which I don't see why he wouldn't. But if he does return, that would be a great opportunity here, because we have not had a Heisman Trophy winner really since season 1. So it would be nice to get back in that mix there. Of course, another dark horse when it comes to the for the Heisman, it possibly could be. We could be talking about Godfrey, who has had a great season. Alexander, of course, he had 2 rushing touchdowns there in the game. He did a great job there rushing. Him and Davison did a excellent job there. 1-2 punch in the backfield there for us in the running game. But like I said, Godfrey, 5 catches, 126 yards, a touchdown there for him. Ramirez is another person that could be a Heisman Trophy guy. candidate for us next season, because he's put up some great numbers in the last couple of years. And if I'm not mistaken, I think next year might be his last year with us, with this, with our here being the program. So we got a lot of guys gonna be, changing. And of course, like I said, we've been trying to utilize. We're trying to bring in new guys to come in towards the last half of the season there to help us out. And some guys that we've been working out. Some guys still need some time to work, and of course, hopefully during the off season they'll, with the right training and playing the spring, getting into spring ball, which we'll get to that. Once this season over with, we'll see how they progress, and hopefully they've progressed a lot more and be ready to take those starter roles that we need those guys, certain guys in. Especially if we end up losing some of those guys for those positions there. So it's going to be very important for a lot of guys to do a great job of staying in shape and getting ready for next season for the ones that are going to be returning. Right now, you're taking a look at the season numbers there as we're getting ready to wrap up here. And like I said, I know this series, I was hoping to play a lot more, but with my job that I have in IRL, it takes up a lot of my time. Not to mention getting a second job, doing stuff for the actual Highland Scotties, doing play-by-play and stuff like that. It's been really just been busy. So putting this series together, it's been kind of tough trying to play it and then trying to get it ready for you guys now on time and whatnot. It's been a task, and I'm hoping now, since football season in real life is kind of over with, now we can, once we get this fifth season finished up, the off season and stuff like that, we can get into season 6 and start really getting into it and produce a lot more content as we go along here. And of course, we will continue, and I'll talk more about the off-season stuff coming up in the next episode, as we'll show you guys some of the teams that are going to be relegated out of the Big 12 and of course around other conferences, and we'll see the new teams that are coming in. And like I said, we'll be doing that from now, from season start. Of course, we started in season 5 here, all the way up to season 10, and then of course we'll make some big changes of conferences and teams and stuff like that, because I want to extend some conferences to have that Power 16 type of feel. And I guess I've been kind of kicking around some ideas for teams and what conference they could be in and what it would be like for them and stuff like that. So been kind of working on that with a couple of my buddies, and I've been helping me out with that, coming up with an idea for what schools can go to what conferences and how they would, if they would be successful with it or not. And some of them I'm gonna be, you guys are gonna be, I think you'll be really impressed with. So, but that's like I said, that's way down the line here. But yeah, next season, we're kind of working on trying to get the offensive line going. I feel confident that we can do that. But my main concern now is I think it's gonna be the defensive side of the ball. I'm hoping that not too many guys will go pro, especially these sophomores. I'm hoping they'll stick around and come back for their junior year. But winning, a lot of those guys have been around, for a while now. They've had their national championship opportunities, and they may be like, "Hey, coach, I'm ready to leave," And of course, you guys know that I'm not gonna force guys to stick around unless they have a shot of getting the Heisman Trophy. And like I said, we got at least 3 guys on offense that could do so. Defensively, nobody really sticks out. Maybe Moore, maybe Weaver, Fuller, possibly, if he can be around next season. I'm not sure what year he's in. But yeah, basically, we could have a quarterback, a tight end, and wide receiver all in the top 5 there for the Heisman. So, but it just depends on how well our offensive line plays and how well the team plays next season. So, And of course, we're trying to go after our second Big 12 championship. Oh, Weaver, I forgot. Yeah, well, never mind. It'll be Weaver's last year, as I see he's a redshirt senior. So, yeah, it'll be his last year. But yeah, we're just going to try to see what we can try to do and just try to do our best at trying to get, the best guys out there for the team. And like I said, I've been trying to bring in those younger players in for garbage time when the scores are, get those situations where scores are ran up and stuff like that. Of course, I brought them into the national championship game there in the fourth quarter and let them play for a while, stuff like that. So just giving them that experience and exposure on the field. But hopefully next season they'll be ready to go and be ready to show off what they can do. As you see Olsen, one of our top sack leaders there. Hopefully he's definitely one of our best pass rushers there. I'm really hoping that he'll come back for another round next season, because he is definitely one of our anchors, one of our big time defensive players there, who has just been a monster this season when it comes out going after the quarterback there. So he will definitely be missed if he decides to go pro early. But like I said, I'll make some exceptions for some people, but for the most part here, if they're going to go pro, hopefully they're at a decent overall. Olsen, I can see him. He would be a late round type of player. He would be, somewhere in probably like fourth round, early fourth, maybe a mid fourth round guy. But I really want, like I said, he should be here next season. Owen, there you see Reggie Owen, one of our top. He's our biggest interceptions leader right there, with 5 this season. Hopefully he'll be around next season. And of course, like I said, we got so many other guys there: Collins, McCall, Yancey, Rizzo, Pope, and Blanchard. They're going to be great players next season there, and they're going to get more playing time. And they just need that more exposure being on the field. So, and that's why I try to do my best towards the latter part of the season there, just try to give them exposure when we could, especially when, like I said, when the score was, we're up by, 35 or 42 by half. It's like, okay, it's time to put some of those inexperienced guys in there so they can get that experience, and we can get ourselves a chance to get them some playing time there. Now, as for the schedule for next season, I haven't really decided who I'm going to play just yet, because it really depends on who we have on the roster. So if our roster is still strong, then of course we'll play some strong teams. But the roster is not that strong, which I have a feeling that's what may be the case there. Then we might have to play some. We'll have a combination of some tough teams. I want to play. I want to play. What is that game? Or what is that? I want to play Alabama at Alabama. I think that'd be a fun game to play. But it just depends on the schedule. And like I said, it just depends on who's in that top 25, because I want to play some really good teams in the top 25. But at the same time, I want to play some of those teams that are outside the top 25 or in the top 30 that I think would be really good for us to play against and have fun playing some pretty good matchups there. So, like I said, I'm looking around, looking at a lot of the bowl games, some of those bowl games you guys seen. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that, because I really like watching those sims of those games and seeing those players. And like I said, also too, I'm looking at players that we were going after the last two seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, and see how well they're doing right now, and maybe get a chance to play against them. So go after, play against some of the players that decide to go. Like we had, for one instance, like Sheldon Sherman, little brother, Shane. He's up in Wisconsin. So this next year he should be a starter if he's not already. So we could play against him. In the Badgers. And of course, there's some other, some other players that we've had that I created from you guys, that you guys submitted here to the channel for this series. We can see how they're doing it and see if we can play against them and see how well we do against them. So, like I said, that's the schedule-wise. Like I said, I haven't figured out what the schedule was going to be until I look and see who's what some of the creative players that you guys helped create for this series are doing. And I will have in the next episode, there will be a recruiting special video on that, where I'll talk about how you guys can submit recruits. The deal is, basically I just want the name, position, where they're from, all that kind of stuff, and what position, and then basically you tell me what type of player he is, and from that I already have a kind of a what do you call a rating, kind of like a prefabricated, pre-set up of what type of play, like overall. The overall is like 75 overall, so or either 70. It's 70 overall. So it's already pre-set up. But I would like to know what your 3 weaknesses and your 3 strengths are, and from there I can adjust the rating system from that. But basically, you'll start with a freshman, and you'll be either a 70. You'll be a 70 overall, and they'll go from there. So, and that's if you want, and if you want to be a part of the series, like if you want to be on the actual team here, those are for Patreon subscribers. So if you want to be that, you do that. That we do have a Patreon page, and there's a link down below for that. If you want to help out the channel that way, and you'll be guaranteed a spot on the team, based on your being a member of Patreon. So, and that from right there, you can be, I believe, if you're a Patreon member, you'll get an 80. I think an 80 overall. I think I have it set. I think I have it written down. I haven't been on Patreon for a while, so I need to check and see that. But I think it's an 80, something like that. That if you want to be, especially if you want to be on the team itself, you get that, and plus you be an 80 overall freshman, and guaranteed to be a starter there. So, but yeah, that is pretty much what you see there. Like I said, it was a great season. Cannot wait to start season 6, and it should be a fun season 6 coming up here. Like I said, next video we'll have, that'll be a recruiting special. So if you guys down below, if you're not part of our Discord, check out the Discord. That's the best place where you guys can really leave your information there about your player and where they're from and the names and all that kind of stuff. So down below there should be a link to the Patreon page, and just look under NCAA creative player or whatever. I think it's creative player link in the ESGNet Discord, and check out our Discord page if you're not a member there. That's the best way where you guys can submit your players for any series that we have here on the channel, any franchise or any dynasties we have in this game, or any future NCAA games, dynasties we have, and also for Madden, 2K, NBA 2K, and MLB The Show. And so, yeah, definitely check it out there. Like I said, links are down below in the description. Also, our links to our social media is down there too, so definitely check it out. But that is it for this episode of the Highland Scotties Dynasty. It was, like I said, it was a great season. I cannot wait to start season 6. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to see who goes where, and who's gonna possibly go pro next season. So, but yeah, that's it for me, you guys. As always, keep yourselves each other healthy, stay safe, stay warm. Go Scotty Nation, and I'll see you guys next time.